Today I'm gonna do a book summary about a book called The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And let's begin. So, let's begin. When it comes to developing skills and talent, we have more control than we often believe. In fact, as the Telecon reveals, everyone can develop a talent with the right mix of practice, motivation, and coaching. Okay, so I'm talking about the keys. Okay, so the talent code key idea number 1: all skills are based on the same cellular mechanism, the production of myelin around neural pathways. Okay, so I'm gonna explain it. Everything we think, feel, and do is a result of what happens in the brain. We're throwing a basketball, contemplating plateau, or simply feeling happy. Okay, that's obvious. The neural circuits in the brain are encased in a substance known as myelin, which until very recently was thought to be mere insulation, which is a protection for the more important nerve fiber it's wrapped around. But that's only partially true. While myelin indeed acts as insulation for the neural circuits, it also plays a crucial role in the development of skill. Okay. That's because myelin determines how quickly and precisely a signal can travel along a circuit. And the thicker the myelin, the greater your ability to control movements and thoughts more accurately. So I'm gonna sum up what I just read, okay? Basically, the myelin in the brain is a thick layer, okay, which is on top of the neural circuits, okay? And the thicker it is the better your ability to control your movements and your thoughts, okay? Let's move on. The talent code key idea number 2: making mistakes improve talent because it stimulates myelin growth. Whenever you practice something, never fire through a circuit in your brain. Okay, so simply repeating a task isn't enough to stimulate nerve firing. The key is to make mistakes and then to correct them. So basically, in order to improve, you need to make mistakes, okay? That's the most efficient way to improve. It's a process of making mistakes and correcting them that leads to improving a particular skill. That's why it's crucial to practice beyond the limits of our current abilities. Because when you go beyond what you can do, you're most likely to fail, and that will make you better, okay? This kind of focused repetition is what the author calls deep practice. Okay, now I'm gonna move on. Talent code the key idea number 3. Skill is not exclusively dependent on genes and environment. So there's a story here about Michelangelo that people thought thinks him today as a genius, okay? But the fact is that he was in a craft guild. When he joined only when he was at age 6, and he practiced over a long time stone cutting, sketching. Then he prepared frescoes. And that's decades over that. That's what made him perfect in his craft. Okay, so it's not. And the proof of that is that many artists in the Renaissance time were in those guilds, and so that's the reason they became so successful in their future. Okay, now I'm gonna move on. The talent code key idea number 4: analyzing his talent hotbeds Okay, sorry. Talent is a mixture of deep practice, ignition, and master coaching. Okay, so talent is the combination of those three things. I'm gonna explain each one. Deep practice refers to the kind of intense practice that most effectively promotes mining growth. I talked about it earlier. So I'm gonna give an example. In Brazil, there's a game called futsal, which is soccer, where the ball is at the size is half the size of a regular football, but twice as heavy. Okay. So when they practice with these conditions, they get better in the regular soccer because they deep practice it. How do you call it? Deep, yes, deep practice. Okay. So when they play with the bigger ball, it's way easier. Okay. Okay. The second part is ignition. It refers to an event that motivates the practice. For example, if someone hit a home run for the first time in a city, that makes younger people to try to achieve the same achievement. Okay, they see it's possible, and everyone goes for it. So it gives them motivation for a long period of time. That's what ignition is. Okay. The third part is having a master coach or a coach who knows how to improve both the practice and ignite motivation in their prodigies. Okay, I'm moving on. The talent code key idea number 5. The practice consists of chunking up the task, which means repeating it and looking for the difficulties. Okay, so this one's obvious. Okay, I'm gonna. When you want to be the best at something, you need to chunk it up to small pieces and by intensively examining and learning these tiny units, you gain a deeper understanding of each crucial component of your skill. Okay, so you see in which parts you're bad at, and you focus on them until you master them, and then you move on. Let's say you wanna learn how to play something on the piano, and you suck at the beginning, so you only master the beginning at first. You don't play the entire thing. Okay. That's what they practice it. Okay. So the practice requires time, since increasing a particular skill demands a lot of repetition. The more we repeat the task, the more precise and quick the action will become, because the myelin layer surrounding the relevant circuit thickens. Okay, engaging in deep practice means making things a little difficult for yourself while practicing, because repeating something you already know inside out doesn't improve your skill. Instead, you must always practice just beyond the limits of your ability. Okay. Even though failing at something difficult can be uncomfortable for us, it's actually the only way for us to improve. Talent code key idea number 6. We need an external cue, ignition, to motivate us to develop a skill over the long term. So I talk about it. You need some kind of cue that will make you stick to the thing you want to master. Okay. For the beginning, you can put the sign of Michael Jordan in your room, so you're gonna improve to be as good as him in basketball, for example. Whatever works for you, but it's gonna trigger your mind to focus on the thing you want to achieve in the long term. That's the key. Okay, moving on. Talent code key idea number 7. Some type of coaches serve ignition and some serve deep practice. Okay. So many star coaches focus on putting their prodigies through deep practice. When someone is in the higher level, okay, they're gonna wanna focus on deep practice. When someone just starting to master something, you wanna focus on ignition, okay? So you're gonna wanna keep them motivated to practice it. When they're in the higher, they get a higher skill and they wanna master it, you wanna focus on the deep practice, okay? So for the pros out there that want to improve, they're gonna focus on their practice. For someone just studying, like I said, okay, gonna focus on ignition. So that's basically it. I'm gonna sum up everything. The key messages, okay? Talent depends on myelin growth, the insulation that wraps around our neural circuits. To stimulate myelin growth, you have to practice at the very edge of your current capabilities so that you make mistakes and correct them. Talent is formed when the practice is encouraged through long-term motivation and enforced through master coaching. So if you want actionable advice, focus on correcting your mistakes. If you want to practice anything efficiently, don't shy away from your mistakes, but focus on adjusting them until you improve. If you play a new piece of music, don't just play it from the top to bottom, but stop every time you're making mistakes and repeat that part. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Please give a like and subscribe. See you soon.